People have a lot of different perceptions about those with spinal cord injuries. For instance, we're good for nothing. We are dependent. We always need someone. We cannot do anything independently. I mean, that's just the tip of the iceberg. But in all honesty, looking at me, I have a spinal cord injury. I travel the world independently. I don't have a caretaker. I live alone. I do everything by myself. Hi, my name is Virali Modi. I'm a motivational speaker, India's first wheelchair using model, a disability rights activist, and an influencer. And I have a spinal cord injury. You know, life can change with the snap of the fingers. In the case of spinal cord injuries, your life can totally be altered and it can affect anyone, whether you have a medical condition, whether it's an accident or whether it's a sport injury. I was 15 years old when I was diagnosed with a spinal cord injury. When it comes to challenges, I think the biggest challenge that anyone who has a spinal cord injury or uses an assistive mobility device faces is accessibility. For instance, if there aren't any ramps to enter a building, if there isn't a lift to access the building, or even if there is a bump, a speed breaker, a threshold, or something that just blocks your path, right? And that takes away so much of your independence. 2017 is when I started my campaign for accessible railways, which we made 9 railway stations totally wheelchair accessible without any renovation. At that point of time, that is when I understood that there are a lot of people with disabilities, but not a lot of people raise their voice. Either ये डर है कि लोग क्या कहेंगे, हम ये कैसे करेंगे, या फिर हमारी कौन सुनेगा. So from that point on, I would say I became an accidental influencer. Right now, I am an influencer on Instagram, and that is through raising awareness about disability, but then at the same time showcasing that people with disabilities are no different than any other individual out there. We have the same likes, dislikes. For instance, I love fashion. So I do a lot of reels around fashion. I love makeup, so I do a lot of reels about that. I do a lot of relatable reels for which people can understand that यार हमारी और उनकी ज़िंदगी तो ज़्यादा different तो नहीं है. I talk about my journey. I just show lifestyle things. For instance, अगर मैं चाय बना रही हूँ तो I will record that and I will just share that, ताकि सबको ये भी समझ आए कि हाँ यार ये भी बंदी अकेली रहती है, ये भी करती है, मैं भी तो करता हूँ या मैं भी तो करती हूँ. So what's so different about us? I remember this one instance when I wasn't engaged. By the way, let's point that out. I had met a guy on a dating website and he asked me, can you have sex since you're on a wheelchair? The one thing that immediately popped into my mind was, आप क्या खड़े खड़े करते हो? आप भी ना पलंग पे लेट के ही करते हो ना? It's the same thing. So I think we need to get rid of this perception that people with disabilities cannot have sex. When it comes to your sex life, when you talk about having a sex life, you try different positions that work for you. You try different things, you experiment, right? And it's the same thing. We may need a little bit more of adaptations, or we may need a pillow or two, but it works out. So I think getting rid of this stigma is so important that people with disabilities cannot have sex. हाँ हम कर सकते हैं और हाँ हम enjoy भी करते हैं.
Let's see you. Bye, darling. Bye.